Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Charlie Bravo here. I am the Gear Freak. Today we're going to take a look at this. This is the Infidel by Benchmade knives. Now this is an out the front auto opening knife. Now I know that a lot of people are going to immediately first thought that's illegal. You can't have that knife. Well, let me tell you, every state is going to be different. Different states, different rules. Some states, military, law enforcement, fire departments, people like that can have auto opening knives. Some states don't have any restrictions at all on auto opening knives. So really, if you're going to own a knife like this, you need to find out what the laws are where you live. Some cities are going to have different laws as well. So be sure you do your research before you try to go out and buy something like this, okay? So that out of the way, that's my legal disclaimer for the day. Let's talk about the specs, and then we're going to get into the drawbacks, the positives, and then I actually want to talk about the practicality of carrying a knife like this, okay? So, first off, the specs. This is just barely shy of 4-inch blade. It is 3 millimeters thick. The overall length open is just shy of 9 inches, and closed, it is 5 inches, and it's about 0.6 or so inches thick. It has a slide actuator, so slide forward for extending it, and sliding it back to drop back in. Now, it is a double edge, okay, so both edges are sharpened. It has a dagger profile, hence, you know, they pretty even taper in, both sides coming in at the same angles, and meets exactly in the middle. Okay, and it has a plain edge, no serrations or anything like that. This one is finished black. There's two versions. There's one that is satin, doesn't have any black finish on it, and then there's this one here. There is also a couple of other ones. There's a shorter version of the Infidel as well. All of those are going to be different prices. This one with the black finish is $495. The same size blade and everything like that, that's satin finish, is $480, and then it goes down from there for the smaller versions. Now, it weighs about 5 ounces, okay, so just under, I guess I should say. It is D2 tool steel, and the handle is aluminum. And of course, it has a clip on it, a pocket clip, and it's MOLLE compatible. It does also have a nylon pouch that comes with it. The belt clip, or pocket clip I should say, it's a deep carry, so it's going to go pretty deep in your pocket. I know some knives don't. This one's going to carry very deeply. Now, I talked about the price, the MSRP being $495 for this version and $480 for the satin version. You can find it a little bit cheaper than that. It's probably in the $410 to $425 range. Still, obviously, a very, very expensive knife. A very expensive knife that, to me, it kind of has a drawback. This is not a utility knife. This is not a knife for cutting open boxes and things like that. The 3 millimeter thick blade, okay, and it's a very delicate tip. I actually know a couple of people who own these knives who have broken the tip off, using them for things that not really its purpose, okay? This is a tactical knife. That's it. It's not a box cutter. This is not for cutting rope. I mean, obviously it has a blade and it can do those things, but that's not its purpose. This knife is a fighting knife. This is designed to hurt, maim, kill, and really that's it. All right, so you have to take it with a grain of salt. You have to really treat it like, you know, what it's made for. And to me, that's kind of a drawback. It's not a multi-function type of thing. The price, obviously, that's a drawback. That's a firearm. I mean, that's a decent handgun. $495. With the military program, that's a Glock all day long, and probably an upgrade on the sights too. So that's a lot of money for a knife, if you ask me. Another drawback for me, I don't know if you can see it, but we have these little scallops on the side to give us a little bit extra grip, at least on one side. It extends from the base all the way up to the top, and then the section where the slide actuator is has been milled out to allow it to slide. Not all of those little scallops are gone, and you almost have little saw blade edges right there that can be pretty painful, actually, when you're running your finger along them. It catches. To me, I think they should have milled those kind of off, just so that, you know, it's a little bit more comfortable to carry. I get it. It kind of allows that, you know, that pattern to flow all the way from the, you know, from end to end, but at the same time, it's a little uncomfortable. That's it as far as the drawbacks go. You could talk about, you know, is it really practical, and we're going to get into that. But as far as positives go, it is very well made. It's a Benchmade, okay? Well crafted, well put together. The finish on it is absolutely flawless. The edge is razor sharp. That can be a problem when you're talking about a double-edged knife. You have to be careful. You got to make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing. You can't treat it like a regular knife where you put your finger on there to do something. You will definitely, you'll know right away you've messed up. It's going to cut very quickly, and it's going to cut very deep because it is extremely sharp. I like the pocket clip. It's a very well done pocket clip. It's not super strong, okay? It's not overly strong. It's not going to rip your pocket or anything like that, but it's strong enough, and it carries very deep. That's a good thing because for $495, I really don't want to lose this knife, okay? I don't want it to get knocked loose for some reason, and I drop it somewhere and lose it. One thing about that, though, that I want to talk about, and that has to do with the practicality of carrying a knife like this. A knife this price, I have a hard time carrying it. I don't want to put it in my pocket because I put my keys in there, loose change and stuff like that. I don't want to scratch this thing up. I don't want to get it messed up. It's almost an investment. It's more of a collector's type of thing, which it shouldn't be because this is a workhorse. I mean, as far as tactical goes. But I don't want to put my keys in there. I don't want it to get lost. I don't want it to get stolen. And there's one other thing that I'm worried about, and that has to do with legal ramifications of carrying a knife like this. This knife has no other purpose other than to injure somebody, kill, maim, that sort of thing, okay? If you have to use this to protect yourself, I get it. Self-defense, you're in the right. But I guarantee you a prosecutor that is looking at this, they're going to say, you were carrying a knife that's sole purpose is to hurt someone? So did you really want to use that knife? That's why you were carrying it? I just don't want to end up in that situation. Now, I don't know that that's going to happen to you, but I would worry that that's what the way things would go. And I know there are some states that absolutely that's the way it would go. So definitely kind of consider that, I guess. I think most of those states where it would lean that way, you probably can't even have a knife like this anyway, so do take that into consideration as well, I guess. Definitely look into it, though. If you are legally allowed to own this knife, it is something to consider, for sure. If for no other reason than as a collector's type of item, it does have that going for it. So for me, I think I'd buy another handgun instead, but at the same time, it is a very well made and a very focused purpose knife. So be sure to check it out again. This is the Benchmade Infidel. I will leave a link down below so you guys can check that out, as I always do. And if you enjoyed the video today, it is always appreciated when you like and share. And if you're not a subscriber and you want to see more videos like this one, more Gear Freak, find that subscribe button down below, put your crosshairs on it, and pull the trigger on your mouse. Then come back next Thursday morning for another Gear Freak. Remember, your mind, that's your most important weapon, and it's vital to be armed with information. Until next time, take care and be safe. Charlie Bravo, out.